In the previous lesson, Josh and Arabindo explored the height of the beanstalk at times between day 0 and day 1. For example, they found that the height of the beanstalk on day 1/2 was the square root of 3. They argued that the beanstalk's height should increase by the same factor over any half day. Since it increases by a factor of 3 over a whole day, it should increase by a factor of the square root of 3 over half a day. In this lesson, the students will continue to explore the height of the beanstalk at times between day 0 and day 1. By the end of the lesson, they will learn how they can find the height of the beanstalk at any time between day 0 and day 1. They'll begin to work towards this goal by first drawing a timeline from day 0 to day 1 to explore how the beanstalk is growing during this time.
Jack recently told his botanist friend Jill about his magical beanstalk. She could not believe what she was being told. She wanted to know more about how this plant grows. To see how it was growing throughout the day, she decided to make some observations. Jill is quite busy, so instead of watching the plant grow, she decides she's going to come back and measure the beanstalk 4 times over the course of a single day. She takes an initial measurement of 1 centimeter when Jack got his sprout, which we call day 0, and then takes 3 more measurements every 1/4 of a day. In other words, if Jack got the beanstalk at 1 p.m., Jill would take her second measurement at 7 p.m., her third measurement at 1 a.m., and her final measurement at 7 a.m.
And this is the 4th root of 3.
Can you mark in any multiplicative relationships that you're seeing? Among the tick marks? Any 2 tick marks? Okay. Can you mark in another one? Okay. Do you agree with that, Arabindo?
Yeah, I'll go with it.
Why are these 2 the 4th root of 3?
Because, we saw that, the growth, factor is the same. Between, the same period
every
of
tick
time.
mark, it's 1/4 of a day.
Okay.
Yeah. So the growth factor will also be, the same. So, since we got this for
will be the same as what?
will be the same as another 1/4 of a day.
Okay. Okay. Can you keep filling in relationships on the number line? Multiplicative and additive?
Okay.
Okay, so what did you mark in there?
Plus 1/4 of a day.
So between each tick mark, what's happening?
A quarter of a day has passed.
Quarter of the day has passed. Okay. Any multiplicative relationships you're seeing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this would be times 4, 3 times the 4th root of 3.
Okay, and that's relationships between the heights?
Mm-hmm.
In this episode, Josh and Arabindo created a timeline that showed how the beanstalk was growing over each 1/4 of a day between day 0 and day 1. They noted that over each 1/4 of a day, the beanstalk will grow by the same multiplicative factor. As explained in the previous lesson, this factor must be the 4th root of 3, since you need the number that when multiplied by itself 4 times gives you 3. This means that over each 1/4 of a day, the beanstalk grows by the 4th root of 3, as their timeline shows. In the next episode, they will use their number line to find the height of the beanstalk on day 3/4.